So I've been messing around with the whole shooting, editing, making these little talking to camera videos for the last sort of 2 weeks. And I'm really kind of enjoying the format and just like the act of actually making them, just as like a creative outlet in a video form. Kind of made me think about why I decided to do it in the first place, what sort of made me think it would be an interesting idea. And essentially to make a video about that. I read a quote by a painter, I can't remember his name, but he effectively says, painting is easy when you don't know how. And what he means by that is the more you kind of learn about your art or your craft and how you level up, it becomes a harder thing to make the next project. What you define as good art or good work for yourself kind of evolves and changes, and you have new standards you set yourself, and it becomes harder to just sort of cross the starting line and just make something. And I think the same's true for filmmaking, cinematography as well. When I first started shooting, it would be, we're going to do a music video this weekend. You'd grab your camera, go out, shoot and edit, and you'd probably have a music video done by the Wednesday. And it was just this fun thing, and then you'd go and do it again, and then you'd go and do it again. And then as soon as I sort of started not being like an all-rounder, shoot, edit, kind of whatever, as soon as I sort of started pursuing cinematography more as my sort of only thing, the sort of barrier to entry starts to come up, I guess. You sort of stopped like just making things, because just making something isn't as easy anymore. I was very focused on leveling up my work, and that's kind of not an easy thing to do. That takes like a level of pursuit and effort and research. I was spending a lot of time watching lighting breakdowns, listening to cinematography podcasts, people who make videos like this. I was looking at work that inspired me, and I was trying to break that down and trying to figure out how I got my stuff to look like that. I would critique my old work and be like, next time I'm not doing that, or this thing didn't work out how I wanted it to. I'm not going to approach it that way the next time around. Filmmaking is not an easy art form by any means. It often takes a village, budget, crew, locations. Logistically, there's a lot of things to sort of pull together, especially when you want to take your work from here to there. When you're trying to actively get better at something, it's just not an easy thing, full stop. Saying it stopped being a hobby is probably not 100% accurate, but it definitely stopped being like a thing I would do for fun with my mates. It definitely shifted to, this is a skill set, this is a craft that I'm trying to develop and get better at. And it was really kind of, I got very much more like a sense of purpose from like pursuing the skill set and getting better at it, which sounds a bit pretentious, but in like my early 20s, that was kind of the mindset shift that I had. It went from being like making music videos for fun with my friends to, this is what I want to do full time with my life, and I want to get better at it, and I want to keep leveling up continuously until you get to wherever you get to, basically. So something I did a lot, and something I still do a lot, is passion projects. I'm a massive believer in passion projects, and they allow you to develop your skills. They allow you to create the sort of images that you really want to make, and the sort of projects that you'll happily go and do for free, give up your time to go and do them on a weekend with people you enjoy working with. But they still don't feel like fun little videos. They still feel like an exercise in developing your skill set and pursuing a craft and trying to push your work from here to there. And I guess as much as I love cinematography more than anything in the world, obviously I love it and I enjoy doing it, but it's not a hobby. If someone comes along with a music video, I still put on the goggles of, this is an opportunity to develop my skill set, to pursue getting better at this craft. And it's, again, as much as I love to go and shoot this music video, I'm going to approach it from, this is work, and I'm going to work hard to make it as good as possible. I would say I'm kind of at this point pursuing it for the love of it, but not necessarily for the fun of it. So kind of on that, these little videos I've been finding fun, and I kind of want to explore filmmaking for the fun of it while I pursue cinematography for the love of it, if that makes any sense. And I've been kind of looking for a creative outlet of some kind, whether it be like drawing or writing. I even thought about like learning to play the guitar. That's never going to happen, by the way. But I've been looking for these creative outlets, and I kind of realized video is already and sort of should be my main creative outlet. It was just kind of finding a way for it to be a low pressure, fun kind of thing to do. And this is kind of where I landed by doing these kind of videos and just, you know, putting them away over on YouTube, away from my website, away from my Instagram. They can kind of be this low pressure thing that I do for fun, away from cinematography. There's no pressure for this to look like my DP work. I think to take it back to the original point is I want to make films like I don't know how, because it's easy when you don't know how. These videos are easy to do and I can do them for fun. Like I say, there's no pressure for this to look like my work that I do when I'm working as a cinematographer. I'm shooting this on my iPhone, I'm lit by the window in my room. There's no pressure for this to look like anything I've shot on an Alexa, because it doesn't need to, and that's fine. These images can sit separate to that because they aren't that. This is just a thing to do for fun. Ironically, if this ends up being something I continue doing, a lot of the videos I make will be about cinematography, but the making of them won't be an exercise in cinematography itself. Me turning this lamp on in the background isn't about as much cinematography as we're going to get here. But yeah, like I say, I want to strip it back, make it really simple to shoot and edit and make videos, and just do it to be creative. And they might not all be me droning on at the camera. I've got a few different ideas of things I want to try, so let's just see where I get with them, I guess. I think that'll do.